Cage 61 on Saturday the 10th of February at the Helsinki Culture House. Live only on Cage Pay-Per-View and Viaplay. Finnish champion Niko the Hunter Aikonen is a well-versed southpaw striker with a thunderous left leg and KO power in both hands. With a sizable frame for the division and no notable weaknesses, the highly technical modern martial artist is set to go far on his path. The multiple-time Spanish champion, Manuel de Valle, is a talented and strong athlete who excels in mixing up his sharp striking and grueling cage wrestling, taking away the air and space of his opponents. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the national champions to collide. Niko the Hunter Aikonen versus Manuel de Valle.
To the blue corner, Manuel de Aikonen!
And so it begins. Here we have Kevin Greenlaw, a baritone opera singer, singing the Votre Toast from the Carmen Opera. This is the song of the bullfighters. Notably, Manuel del Valle, he is from Sevilla and fashions himself something of a bull. Niko the Hunter Aikonen fashions himself, obviously, something of a hunter. I think the juxtaposition we're trying to paint here is that Niko intends to play something of a matador himself. An excellent albeit odd performance, and out comes Niko Aikonen with his signature furred cap. Make no mistake, regardless of the shenanigans that happen pre-fight, Niko Aikonen is here to take care of business. He's undefeated thus far as a professional. He has one draw to his name, but he is an absolutely sharp kickboxer. And despite his very few professional fights, he has a wealth of experience. He's finished 8 of his 10 fights as an amateur. He's an amateur national champion. He's coached by, as you can see in his corner there, Mikael the Hulk Silander. And perhaps you know some of his other coaching staff, huh, Alexi?
Yeah, let's say he has excellent coaching staff. Lives in Joensuu, Finland, working with excellent boxing, grappling, and BJJ coaches. Very strong following, as you can see here at the House of Culture. Very sharp kickboxing, and as you stated, a knockout artist.
Yeah, and you know, despite the fact that he's lauded as this dangerous striker, And I agree, he absolutely is. That does Aikonen a bit of a disservice because he's dangerous any place. You know, he can be dangerous everywhere.
Niko Aikonen!
That southpaw striking can be very tricky for folks to deal with. And he makes it hard for him. You know, he's got an excellent chin. It's not such an easy feat to put the lights out for Niko Aikonen. When we take a look at the tail of the tape, the height dead even, weight dead even, reach almost dead even. Essentially, everything here is dead even. A very, very exciting matchup.
In the blue corner, fighter is pro debut, weighing 77.1 kilos, fighting out of Spain, Manuel Valle! Undefeated Finnish fighter with a pro record of 1 win, no losses and 1 draw, weighing 77.1 kilos, representing 03 fight team, fighting out of Joensuu, Finland, Niko
Niko Aikonen, the Hunter, taking on Manuel Del Valle in Del Valle's MMA professional debut. Very interesting matchup. Tough debut. Very, very difficult test in his first professional fight. Cage door has now been locked. Here we go, 3 rounds at welterweight here tonight in Helsinki. Niko already throwing hard leather.
He needs to stay calm, especially because you know Del Valle will probably try to work for the takedown or swing heavy on a counter. So stay behind the jab, control the range, and snipe.
Absolutely. And I mean, one thing you see immediately from Niko Aikonen is that fairly bladed stance. And that allows him to throw not just that beautiful left hand down the pipe, it also allows him to throw a pretty mean left kick.
And it also makes his in and out movement a lot sharper. When you stand a little bit sideways, a little bit bladed, it's easier to move. It's harder to move side to side, but it's easier to move in and out of positions, which makes when he enters, it's easy to throw that sharp left cross while he's doing like a half step in.
Yet, you know, people do, they do attempt to. They try and step in when you throw that left kick from the southpaw stance, and then he throws that right hook, and bang, often gets him. Aikonen just seems to be finding the range a bit better. It helps if your bell has not been thoroughly rung, I think, to maybe find that distance cleanly. And now he's just teeing off. Big, hard left hand.
And a heavy right hand to the body in the middle of that combination. Oof! That was a sharp counter, barely missed. An excellent clinch by Del Valle. He got his hands locked very well, but Aikonen still has a strong underhook on his right side.
This is good breathing room for Del Valle. You know, just gives him the ability to kind of clear the cobwebs a bit. Aikonen forces him back to the cage, and Del Valle's got, it looks like a single collar tie there. No longer. And that jab just pops him right through the guard. Del Valle's swinging wild, and Niko is sniping. I'm not 100% sure that that's a good methodology. Oh, but he's caught him, he's bloodied him a bit. Aikonen moves back. Del Valle forces him up against the cage, manages to get that single leg.
Even though Niko he's definitely landed the way harder shots and controlling the striking exchanges, but Del Valle he's starting to do a great job making it a little bit dirty. That's what he needs to do. Yeah. Like move your head off the center line, swing around the sides, make yourself a harder target, and at least a riskier target. So Niko cannot throw that left straight right down the pipe and then clinch, even if he cannot get the takedown. While he's working the body lock, working the single leg, and making Aikonen work, it makes every single time they disengage and Niko starts to strike it a little bit harder to land just as sharply as before.
Yeah, just making sure that target's not right precisely where he expects it to be with that laser precision of the left hand. Aikonen has had very good takedown defense here. And despite the fact that he did get returned to the mat there briefly, he's able to get right back to his feet. Let's see if he's able to break the grip of De Valle and then maybe hip heist, get out of there.
Yeah, he's showing a really good takedown defense. He worked hard after his professional debut against Adrian Murug, who is a very crafty grappler, crafty and unorthodox grappler. He worked a lot on his takedown defense, and you could really see that in their second matchup, and you can see that on display in here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he went to a split draw back in April against Adrian Murug, and then absolutely starched him with a round 1 KO this September. He's able to at least return himself to his feet. He's not able to prevent himself from maybe being taken for a bit of a ride, but every single time he's been taken to the mat, he's been back up in seconds.
And in those positions where De Valle lifts him up and Niko pops right back up, it's very disheartening for the takedown artist because you spend a lot of energy lifting someone, throwing them to the ground, and they just stand up.
Yeah.
So it's disheartening and also much more tiring than for the defender.
Yeah, and when you've been hit and your bell's been a bit rung, you know, that exhaustion kind of piles on from what I gather. Very action-packed first round, a lot of good striking exchanges, and then at the end, De Valle was able to clear his head a bit and actually take the fight to Niko Aikonen a bit with the grappling. There you see an exchange on the feet. Niko Aikonen cracking De Valle. Boom, that one doesn't quite break the guard, but it hurts him. Then the following shots, some of them sneak through the guard. Tries for the takedown, Aikonen denies it. He goes to the body, tries the uppercut. Then he tries, like you said, to make it dirty, make sure his head's not on the center line. Throw those wild punches to see if, hey, can I get out of this bad spot? And he did, was able to get him to the mat a couple of times. Very good to see.
Seconds out.
Very competitive first round with an obvious advantage for Niko Aikonen on the feet and a clear advantage in the cage wrestling from Manuel De Valle.
Well, I wouldn't say clear advantage. He was controlling the position.
Right, position.
He didn't get the takedown, and Niko did escape those positions. But he did get more control time against the cage.
Yeah, I think in saying that, what I perhaps meant was that he's able to determine where the fight takes place. And that, at least, is a point in his favor. Let's see if he's able to get the takedown here. He's got his arms around the waist, is able to take Aikonen to the mat briefly, but Aikonen's right back up. Aikonen manages to get to that outside position, returns the fight to the center of the cage, pressures forward with that jab. Goes to the body. There's a couple good shots there. Oh, and he cracks him hard with that left hand, and he puts him down. Aikonen's all over him. I think you'd want to stay at distance here rather than allowing De Valle to get right back in on those hips.
And Niko got a little bit too excited after rocking De Valle and kind of rushed in for the finish, even though De Valle wasn't like really out of it.
He wasn't gone, yeah.
But still, Niko's defense holds, and that wasn't easy. Like, De Valle just let him go, so I think he's pretty ripe a desperation shot by De Valle, but good drive. You can really see the toughness of De Valle. Like, even though he's rocked, he's tired, he still is able to shoot and drive Niko against the cage.
Yeah, very good point. De Valle is still in this. And now he's elevated Niko Aikonen. Niko Aikonen gets taken to the mat, but immediately tries to pop back up, and he's got De Valle on his back, looking for a naked choke.
De Valle is too high, so yeah, he's gonna fall. Excellent standing up by Niko Aikonen. And now De Valle has his hands locked again, so.
Yeah, he's in on those hips. Let's see what he's able to do with it. Sits Niko Aikonen down. And this time, the position is not as favorable
Niko
for him.
might be, he's working for a guillotine.
And De Valle is having none of it. Manages to take the back. No hooks in. Aikonen's already well on his way back to his feet. This is still a dangerous position. This is very, very good work from De Valle to make sure that he's able to get the recovery time he needs to avoid getting the lights turned out. Considering the big moments that Niko Aikonen has had on the feet here in this round, but factoring in the takedowns of De Valle, how would you be scoring this at the moment?
Right at this moment for De Valle, but the whole round for Niko. Because,
right, yes.
because you have control time against the cage without any significant damage or even positional dominance on the ground, you can't compare that to getting rocked and dropped.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Niko is still, if this round finishes the way it is, Niko will still likely take the round. But De Valle, this is what he needs to do. Attack the neck, try to take the back.
Try and get hooks in. Might be
1 minute.
And now into mount, and he starts to uncork shots on Niko Aikonen. The tables here have turned. Aikonen staying very, very smart about his defense. These shots aren't particularly sneaking through. But he is uncorking those shots. That's got to be exhausting. He's smothering Niko Aikonen's mouth right now.
Yeah, that's smart, smart move covering the...
He's looking for that armbar.
But Niko is very well aware of it. He's still there. The referee hasn't been close to step in yet.
Elbow sneaking in, and he's looking for that arm once again. If Aikonen's not careful, he can fall. Okay, he's out of that. That was incredible work from De Valle, but unfortunately, that kind of output comes at a cost. What is that going to do to the gas tank this late in the fight, I wonder?
I think both guys seem to be tired. Aikonen does get back up right away. De Valle taking a little bit longer time. That was a risky armbar, but it was close to the end of the round, so that was understandable. But a big turn of events to finish the round, so it makes that round a lot harder to score. I still might have to score it for Niko because of the knockdown early in the round and landing the more dominant shots, but that was still definitely great work from De Valle and a close round. Close round in the end.
Absolutely close round. And you know, that knockdown really, boom, that big left hand, that left hook just sits him down. De Valle is still there. He's clear. He turns away from the damage. Tries to get to the feet. Here we see a big toss and immediately tries to also simultaneously take the back. Uncorking shots here. Really pouring it on in the last seconds of that round. Nothing landing clean. You know, though there were a couple of elbows in there, I think that did, you know, manage to get through quite well. But really just a flurry of activity.
And you can see Niko was not making any big moves to escape the position. Like, he kind of just settled for defending and finishing the round that way.
It did look like he was using those elbows well to try and, you know, to try and block the damage.
That was a rather easy entry to the takedown by De Valle.
Yeah, it definitely looked like it. Now he's got him elevated. Looks like Niko Aikonen might be trying to go for a
he's
choke.
Looking for a guillotine. It might actually be under the neck. No, it's not. No.
Now Aikonen on his back, and a little bit worse for wear after, you know, the amount of output that both fighters had in that second round.
Yeah, that was a good start for the round, like for Valle. Now he has Niko on his back. He has the top position, and he has almost the whole round to work.
Call it recency bias, but you know, the way that Valle finished that round with such a flurry, it's possible some judges might have given him that round, you know, and this one starting out as is, this could, you know, if he's able to maintain this position, if he's able to you know, smother a tired Niko Aikonen, he could find himself victorious.
He has a chance to work for the arm triangle here.
Oh, he's causing some pain there.
Might be going for a Von Flue choke.
Look at the way that Niko Aikonen's head is pushed up against.
He might be going for a Von Flue.
Aikonen might be, okay, no. His face got real red there, it felt like that. Yeah. And now into mount. This is a very dangerous position to be in when you're exhausted and you're pushed up against the fence and you've got a wily, just savage on top of you, pounding away.
Yeah, and now Niko cannot wait here for the last 3 minutes of this round. He needs to escape this position.
If he doesn't, this fight will be over. Only a matter of time. Alexei, if you're Niko Aikonen, what do you need to do to get out of this position?
I would tell Niko, as they're so close to the cage, try to walk his feet up to the cage and then get an extra pressure for the bridge and try to escape that way. Create a scramble, try to stand up. If he just tries to turn, it's very, very, very difficult.
So walk his legs counterclockwise up against the
fence. Yes, exactly,
and
then bridge hard.
Doesn't seem to be the plan for Niko Aikonen at the moment. He looks
as if he's just settled to defend here. Might be because he's tired. But Valle is working for the arm triangle.
Bit difficult when you have the cage there, not a whole lot of room to work. But if Niko is able to essentially, you know, get that telephone defense in, he could probably prevent this from going too far. But for how long?
And Niko is trying to block Valle's left, so he cannot move to side control to try to finish the choke. So Valle just has to trust the pressure and the squeeze, which over the midway point of the third round in a high-paced fight is probably not at its best anymore. But now he's landing the ground and pound.
Ooh, hard little elbow there. I think this is a very, very bad spot for Niko Aikonen, specifically when he had such a high output in previous rounds. He's got to do something here. A round like this, you know, could easily be seen as a 10-8.
I agree.
Valle's got a motor on him too. You know, he got to that top position and just kept going, staying busy.
And think about being dropped, being rocked multiple times in a fight. You're spending all that energy for the takedowns, and he can still keep going.
Yeah, that's impeccable cardio. And those are hard elbows, it look like. Hard shots to the body as well. Valle is just throwing everything he can at him. Tough to get Niko Aikonen out of there, though.
Now Niko is trying to turn, but great control by Valle, taking the back.
Not a whole lot of time for Niko to work, even if he is able to get to his feet. Right now, this feels like more or less a battle of survival for Niko Aikonen.
I agree. Good control following the position by Valle.
Yeah, very good work in that respect. Final seconds of this, the third and final round of this matchup at welterweight. And there we have it, the buzzer. That was an exceptional round for Valle, who hops onto the cage, gestures to his mouth guard. The Spanish flag held high, looks like here in Helsinki tonight. Oh, Not actually sure what playing that is. There you have a big elevation from Valle and a dump of Niko Aikonen, but he seemed to recognize that there was danger from that guillotine and maybe didn't put him down as hard as he otherwise would have. But this, in the third round, just really uncorking shots continuously on Niko Aikonen.
It would be very interesting to see the scorecards for this fight, because we all agree first round was Niko, third round was definitely Valle, probably a 10-8.
Yeah.
The second round, Niko had the knockdown. He had Valle rocked, but Valle had a lot of control time in the clinch, and he finished the matchup mounted. Well, not finished, but he had the mount, he had the ground and pound. So we'll see what the judges think.
Looking forward to hearing it.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 full rounds, we have the judges' decision. Winner by unanimous decision, Manuel Del Valle!
There you have it. The first professional victory of Valle's career by way of unanimous decision over Niko Aikonen here in Helsinki tonight. Excellent performance from both fighters. Obviously, Valle showed a lot of grit, a lot of toughness in weathering that onslaught from Niko Aikonen and really just putting it on him on the ground. Very, very tenacious, always after those takedowns, getting the mat returns, just constantly on him until Aikonen's cardio kind of broke.
Manuel, your pro debut and great victory over an explosive opponent. What do you think about that?
First of all, I want to say alhamdulillah. After I want to thank my family, my friends, my team, and all the people that are always supporting me in become my dream true. Now I feel so excited and so thankful to the organization and to all the people of Ireland, because I have feel like in home. And that's all. Alhamdulillah, because Allah always want. What happens is because Allah wanted. So that's all. Thank you very much to all the people that are here. Do that the event can come true. And also I want to say a message of peace to the world, because they don't have to be wars in the world. The only war that they have to be is inside the cage or inside the ring. So that's all. Thank you.
Congratulations, Manuel Del Valle.
An exceptional performance from Valle here tonight, and just phenomenal ability to weather a storm, phenomenal ability to take shots that would have put down a lot of lesser men and come out on the other side of that to have a dominant third round. Very dominant third round.
Yes, very dominant. A great performance overall. Showed his grittiness, showed his experience, showed his cage work especially. So very, very good performance. And I would like to see him. There's a lot of great welterweights in Finland, so I would like to see him maybe inside the cage again.
Oh, I would absolutely love that. I thought that was a very exciting fight, a great back and forth. Definitely want to see more of that.
Cage 61 on Saturday the 10th of February at the Helsinki Culture House. Live only on Cage Pay-Per-View and Viaplay.